Beyonce has a new album coming out next month. Alicia Lawrence couldn't be in a better mood than she is tonight. Happy Thursday to you. Welcome inside the air-conditioned studio of Channel 13. You're already ready for this album to come out.
I'm so ready. It's going to be so much new choreography for me to learn. It's going to take a minute, but I got it covered, guys. Don't worry.
May take a day off. I'll learn it.
July 29th.
I got it for the team. I'll take it for the team.
Okay, right. July 29th.
We're going to talk about Beyonce's new album coming up. Also, a basketball player saves the life of a referee. We've got friend of the show, Emily Longnecker, in studio tonight to preview the story that she's got tonight at 11 o'clock. And
you know, my daughter just sent me this story, Emily.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the dude went to Trine, right?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. Trine University
So-
graduate.
My daughter, that's where my daughter goes.
Yeah.
And so she just sent me this story. I'm so glad you're doing it.
Yeah.
It's a great little story.
We should start with that.
It's news to Angela. That's why you watch the news, Angela.
That's why I should read the email. So if I ever give you a hard time for not listening to the weather, you can say, Angela, you don't read your emails.
it's all right.
My bad. I'm
it's
sorry.
okay. It's all good.
I'm excited for this story.
We are. So you're going to like the story. Emily will have it in a moment. But
That's a tease.
Let's begin our evening as we always do at 10 o'clock with the weather. And will the heat wave continue tomorrow?
It's going to still be hot, but it is not going to be as humid. So, and I think most of us miss the 90s. After 4 days in a row in the 90s, we get a bit of a break from the heat wave, and it's a bit of a break because 90s are back as we head into next week. But live Doppler 13 radar is clear. There is a boundary moving from north to south across the region, and along that they dealt with severe weather across parts of Ohio, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, that cluster of storms working its way south. The other cluster that we're watching is in northern Missouri, but right now I think that dives more south than southeast and misses central Indiana. So for now, I'm not expecting much, if anything, in the way of a pop-up storm or two overnight. And the big story will be the drop in temperature and the drop in the muggy meter. You know, it's fine if we're dealing with temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s, but when you add to that dew points well into the 70s, it means we don't get any relief overnight and really makes the heat dangerous. So we do get a nice break from that as we head into Friday and the upcoming weekend. Friday forecast, a good one. Mix of sun and clouds tomorrow. Temperatures middle and upper 80s. Again, most of us miss 90s, and we spend most of Saturday afternoon in the 70s.
Felicia, what do you think?
I am going to be on my patio. I don't want anybody to call me, no one to bother me, no breaking crazy news.
Right.
I'm going to be on my patio.
Is your patio furniture put together?
Well, half of it.
Okay, good. So you got a chair to sit
So
in.
she'll be
I
good.
have a chair. I will sit in my chair.
All right, we have a lot of folks joining us tonight. Good to have everybody here. Jeremy is with us. Joyce said she got her air conditioning fixed today. Yay.
Good for you.
Brian's happy with the weather, it appears. Pamela from Fishers. Tanya's joining us tonight. Let's see. Mike saying good evening, everybody. Connie from Martinsville. Kathy is watching us. Sharon watching. Jeremy's in Mooresville. Wes says, hi, Emily.
Hey, Wes.
And let's see, Josephine Lloyd is with us, so good to have everybody here with us. All right, Emily's got the best story of the night.
It is.
Tell us about
It's
it.
fabulous. So this young man, he's 25 years old. He lives in Toledo. He's a Toledo firefighter, but he also plays for a basketball team, the Toledo Glass City basketball team, and it's part of the basketball league, which I'm not, you know, a sports complete aficionado, but it's a league one below the NBA. I had to have them explain this to me. Explain this. Okay, so last week, or this past weekend, they were in Jamestown, New York, in a playoff game, right, against this team in Jamestown, when all of a sudden this referee collapses. This is not video of that game. This is video of them, or no, is it of that game? Yeah, the Jackals. Yeah, this is video of that game from last weekend. Okay,
Oh my gosh.
So there they are, and the referee. Let me see if you're going to see it
Yeah,
right
here
here.
he is. He's
The
down.
referee collapses, right, and running across right before that was Miles Copeland, 25 years old, just ran over there, started CPR, did CPR for over 10 minutes till the paramedics got there and saved this referee's life, saved his life.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so the president of the league, David Magley, says, you know, he's there calling 911 and he's saying, God, I don't know CPR. I hope someone knows CPR. And then he looks up and he sees a kid in warm-ups doing CPR on the ref, and he says, my God, that's one of the kids in our league.
Wow.
The amazing part is Miles wasn't even supposed to be there that night. He usually
Look at him pressing.
Yeah,
Yes,
he is working
he's
on him.
going, right? I mean, and
Oh,
he
my
said, this is what
heavens.
I'm trained to do, run towards the trouble, right? But he wasn't even supposed to be there that night. he usually doesn't travel with the team because he's a firefighter, right? So he'd worked a 24-hour shift at the fire department in Toledo just so he could go to this away game.
Wow.
There he was. I mean, right moment.
He wasn't supposed to be there, but
Right,
he was supposed to be there.
Right, right. I mean, and as he said, but God. So there he was, did CPR. The ref is okay. The ref was like sitting up and talking right after that, right, saying, I want to get back in and ref the second half of the game.
Now,
They
wait a minute,
obviously
ref.
wouldn't let him, right? But he's having triple bypass surgery tomorrow. But it's my understanding that he's doing really well. So tonight they honored Miles. Tonight the team from Toledo came to Kokomo and they played the Kokomo Bobcats in a playoff game, right? And so Kokomo honored Miles. They honored him tonight, and some firefighters were there, some first responders were there, and right before the game, they brought him out there and they thanked him and they ran the fire sirens, and it was just a beautiful moment. And this young man, he's 25 years old, and he went to Trine University, studied biochemistry, but he decided to be a firefighter. And look at that. And here he is, and he saved this man's life.
And with so much craziness going on in the world, like we need this kind of news too, right?
It was beautiful. Yeah, he really. And I said, where's your cape? Where's your cape, young man? And he said, I don't have a cape. This is what heroes look like. Just the everyday folks. I mean, he runs towards the trouble.
And I have a soapbox moment. I don't know about here. I went to school in Chicago, high school and everything. And we need less geometry and more of stuff like this, like CPR. I never had a CPR class from elementary to high school to college.
Well, and listen, he said that too. He said he thinks it illustrates why people should know CPR, basic CPR, and even further, like he grew up with type 1 diabetes, so he was telling us, telling me about that, right? So he's faced some challenges, but he knows CPR. So yeah, it's a good lesson in having that training.
Do you all know it?
I don't.
I don't.
I should.
I do.
Yeah, see,
I do.
we need way less of.
But I would say I need a refresher. I mean, it's been a while, and in fact, that was actually on my list before COVID started because my parents are getting older, and I just am. We're around a lot of. We see tough stuff happen, bad stuff happen unexpectedly to folks, right? And so I'm always kind of preparing, and that was on my list of things to do in 2020 when COVID hit. So I need to get to that and take a CPR class and a refresher course. I think it's important.
Yeah, well, I know I sound like I'm getting close to my senior years, but we need to get back to the basics here. We need to get back to the basics.
And you point out a good thing. Instead of electives that you just have to fill time with, do you know how to get a mortgage? Do you know how to apply for a car loan? Do you know what
life skills.
PMI is? Do you know what all of those things?
How to
balance
take care of
checkbook,
yourself, how to eat well. Yes, your budget,
eating well,
credit
all of
cards.
those things are good.
Like, oh, damn,
All
this is
that.
my soapbox.
This is getting you started, huh?
Yes, it's getting me riled up. It really frustrates me. I know all this stuff. How to file your own taxes. I don't know if you just said that.
Yeah.
It just really frustrates me. Like.
Well, Brian says after hearing this, there is good in the world.
Yes.
There is.
Tanya's happy about this. Joyce says prayers for his surgery tomorrow. So anyway, lots of people interested in Emily's story.
great
She'll have
story.
that at 11.
And thanks to Kokomo.
For sure.
Yeah,
For,
Kokomo,
paying attention
they
and
rolled out the
honoring.
red
Yeah.
carpet, and
Great.
we just had such a nice time, and it was kind of hot in the gym, and so they were saying, like, do you want water? And they were just so gracious. I mean, they were wonderful hosts, so thank you, Kokomo Bobcats. We had a great time visiting with y'all.
Good.
And did I say file your taxes? No, I'm kidding.
Hey, why don't you talk about the big story of your
Oh my
day.
goodness, you guys, this is major. Beyonce, okay, we had rumors and speculation after she changed the profile pictures last week of all of her social media. It was announced today a new album is on the way, set to be released July 29th. And you guys, I gotta say,
Bayhive.
we will never be the same.
No, never, never. She's wonderful.
She is wonderful.
And she's a great performer.
Now,
And it's been a while, hasn't it?
This is our
Since
queen,
we've heard new
everyone.
music
Right.
from
Okay,
her.
this is the Jubilee.
Right.
This is the Queen's Jubilee. So 2016 was her last solo album. She's had other music to come out since then, but they haven't been solo projects. And then she's had a couple of singles as well. So this is a really big deal.
Yeah, but she's also a mama. She's got things to do.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah,
I
she's
know.
busy.
Ivy is growing up.
Oh my goodness! Did
Wow.
you see her?
Yes.
Curly hair
Yeah.
and lip gloss.
Beautiful child. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous like
and
her
the
mom.
twins are 5 years old now.
That's a busy lady.
It is a busy lady.
All right,
Well,
so-
she has help.
So July 29th, you're going to be all over that
Yeah,
day.
July 29th, I'm going to call off. I got to sit at home. I got to learn all the dance moves and the choreography. I'm just curious. Okay, so she's 40 now. Beyonce is 40, and I'm just like, what is she going to write about? Like, I think she's
Yeah.
going to talk about the social times and some of her activism. I think she's going to talk about motherhood and her marriage.
Yes.
Of course, there'll be some party mixes on there for us to dance
Let's hope.
to.
Yes.
Yeah, I
we
look like my
love that.
mom.
Right,
I
exactly.
look like my mom, but it'll be some party things to dance to, I'm sure.
Good.
But she's
All right.
my lady.
All right. Have you seen her in concert?
Every concert.
How many times have you seen her?
Probably the last 7.
Okay.
7 concerts.
Okay.
Speaking of
I've
concerts,
seen her in different countries.
Yeah.
in different
Angela's been
cities.
to a couple of concerts lately. Tell the folks what you've seen.
Yeah, Grace and I went to Lumineers
Yeah.
out at Hot Ruoff on
Yes,
Tuesday
I
night.
saw your
Hot
pictures.
Yeah.
You guys are having fun.
It was fun, and they were great. They sounded better in person than they do on the radio,
Yeah.
which I think says a lot
Yeah.
about, you know, artists that can get up there with
Yes.
no track, no nothing, just instruments and their voice and sound better.
Awesome.
Yes.
And then last night we were at
Sammy Hagar.
Sammy Hagar,
All
and
right.
George Thorogood.
Look at
But
you.
we really went to see the opener. He's a friend, Jay Baker, or not Jay Baker, sorry, Jay Elliott.
Yeah.
Jay Elliott. Jay Baker, also a
Right.
great local artist, but Jay Elliott is a friend of ours, and he kicked
fun.
off the show. So I think each venue, that tour with Thorogood and Hagar, they
Right.
pick a local artist to open it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Did Sammy Hagar play Can't Drive 55?
No, I don't think that was on the
That
set.
wasn't on the set list.
We didn't stay for the
I'd have been
entire
disappointed
thing.
had I been there and not heard that song.
Well, this is our other concert lady.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Tell us who you're seeing tomorrow.
I'm going to see Babyface tomorrow.
No way! Is he
Indy's
back in
own.
town?
He's back in town. He's
The
gonna
world's biggest babyface.
I've loved
fan.
Babyface's music since I was a young teenager and fallen in love with boys and oh my gosh, and the soundtrack of my youth of growing up. So he's going to be in concert tomorrow at the Madam Walker for
how
their
fun.
gala and a concert. It's big doings there.
And you know
so-
Emily has interviewed Babyface several
I
times.
have heard
So
so,
they're-
many
they're
baby
besties.
faces from
Yes,
her.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I
He's-
can't wait till you guys are reunited. But
Right.
he's in town for a special reason, right?
Yeah, for Juneteenth, for the whole weekend, for
Right.
celebration.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah.
So what if he pulls you up on stage?
Oh
and-
Lord.
Oh, she's,
That's
you
the
gonna
thing.
do?
I just like to go and listen to the music and dance and just I'm going to be with my girlfriends. Just
Get
having
dressed up and having a good night.
She's already got her dress?
I got a dress. I'm already getting my hair done.
All right.
Look, I
It
pull
is
no
gonna be a
punches.
good
I pull
night.
no punches
Is
for a
this a
night
date?
like
That sounds like a date.
no,
Yeah.
heck no, heck no.
So be following Emily over
Yeah.
the weekend.
Yeah.
So you
Hey,
can,
Babyface has produced for Beyonce, too.
Oh, I know.
Written and
He's produced for
Beyonce.
everyone. Whitney Houston, Boyz II Men,
Absolutely.
all of the songs that people don't realize that he
Right.
wrote or produced. I mean, he's a genius. And
Yeah. That's
great.
Yeah,
All right.
so,
There you have
and he's
that.
from here.
So we talk music, we talk about Emily's story,
Yeah.
and we talk weather because tomorrow will be.
mix of sun and clouds, middle and upper 80s, still warm, but not as hot or as humid. So 4 days in a row, that should be the end of our
Yeah.
90s this week, but more next week.
Yep. Okay. We have a lot to talk to you about tonight at 11, so we'll see you on Channel 13 then. Good night.